As a program funded by the Department of Education, MAM expects all participating teachers to attend and participate in all ArtsMatter professional development sessions and follow the guidelines stipulated in their grant stipend agreement. All MAM teachers must provide and submit the required programmatic assets and other evidence of program implementation, and complete program evaluation tasks as required throughout the academic year. Today, MAM Principal Investigator Kamella Tate and I will take this opportunity to overview the types of programmatic forms, surveys, and assessment tools that you will utilize to submit student work and other evidence of program implementation.
I'm joining you now to introduce you to some of the tasks and tools we'll be asking you to implement during your time as a MAM teacher. First of all, we look at you as a co-researcher. We are the principal investigator, but we need your help in the classroom to build the knowledge and the evidence we need to understand how the program works. First of all, we're going to ask you, who are you? Second of all, we're going to ask you what's happening for you, what are you learning? Third, we're going to ask what you think your students are learning and what they need. So first of all, when we ask who are you, we use two instruments to find out more about our teachers: the teacher attitudes and attributes, and the teaching in and through the arts questionnaire. We use the attitudes and attributes to build teacher portraits, so your teaching artists know who you are. We use it to build our contact data set, and we'll use it also to build your personal SharePoint page. The teaching in and through the arts questionnaire is a pre-post instrument that allows us to understand how you've grown and what you've learned over the course of your time in MAM. Our second question, my favorite question, is what's happening for your students? And what are you learning? What do you need? We have three tools that we use to measure this. The first is quick takes, which you'll do 4 times a year at PDs, sort of your top of mind, what's happening right now. The teacher learning continuum we'll use to allow you to visually model where you are in terms of your knowledge and skills and tell us more about what you need to learn. And finally, at the end of each year, we'll ask you to take the year-end teacher assessment so you can tell us what happened for you during the year. And our third question is, what are your students learning and achieving, and what do they need to move on in the program? We have several tools we use. First of all, student self-assessment. In Unit 4, the film unit, it's a group project. So we're going to ask them to say how they think they did individually. It will supplement your scores on their group work. And then at the end of the year as well, just like your year-end teacher assessment, you'll be implementing a student talkback in your classes. It's bilingual, and it simply asks them about their experience of the program and what they think they learned. Finally, the piece de resistance is the student artwork assessment tool. And this is a teacher-reported assessment of student work, which we're now going to take a little bit closer look at. The student artwork assessment tool is our way of measuring student progress and performance. So it's both summative and formative. There are 3 parts to it: the guide, the worksheet that can be used directly in class, and the online report form, which you'll do this 4 times a year for each one of the units. And what this student artwork assessment tool asks you to look at is, what are students learning and how well are they able to do it? So you know that old thing of what are students able to do, what do they know and are able to do? The student artwork assessment tool is built directly around that. We talk first about dimensions of creative work. These are the 4 dimensions: artistic intent, technology, components, and composition. And we measure those using a checklist, yes or no, did they do it? And a performance continuum that we have developed specifically for MAM. So the what of the checklist, we're going to demonstrate this with Unit 1. Artistic intent is simply, well, I have something to say. The second one, technology, is these are my tools I'm going to use to say it. The third one are the components. These are my materials. And the fourth one, composition, is this is how I'm going to use my tools to arrange my materials in order to say what I have to say. And then along the performance continuum, which again is how well, we go from not yet to extending. And these are the levels of the performance continuum. They extend from, wow, my student didn't actually do that at all the way to my student is reaching beyond expectations and project requirements. They're using their new knowledge in creative and novel ways. And after you finish your assessment of the student work, we also provide those materials to you. A student level checklist and performance continuum, along with an all MAM checklist and performance continuum. So you'll have both the tool itself, and then you'll have the evidence of your student learning. So let me just recap here. We asked 3 types of questions in the program. Who are you? What's happening for you and your students? And what are your students learning and achieving? And let me assure you, I know it can be kind of scary to be thought of as a co-researcher, but what we're going to do is we're going to train you, we're going to help you, and we're going to support you all the way through your assessment and evaluation adventure in MAM.
Hello again, and thank you for completing your asynchronous training before we meet in the summer. And don't worry, we'll have plenty of time to review this further in our in-person summer session. During the next few weeks, I encourage you to become more familiar with the program by reviewing our video series and by following us on Instagram at ArtsMatter. Until then, be well and see you soon.